Dang, I don't know where my hat is. What's up? I just said that on live. It's all good. What's going on, everybody? Andrew Vose and Brandon LeCoque here to talk about Brandon, how he got started in real estate, his background before real estate, and why he and I and our team switched over to LPT Realty. What's up, Brandon?
What's up, man? It's been a little bit since we've seen each other, but I think the last time was at Texas.
Yep. That was fun.
Good
Texas
trip.
was a good time. Yeah, it was really good. It was a really good trip. Really eye-opening. We learned a lot, about the leadership we're with now. A lot about the company. Just it was good. But I do want to talk about you, right? I know we're both wearing Ranger green.
I know, right? I told you that before we got on live. I was like, oh, man, we both got the same color T-shirt.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
So just to throw this out there, I am an RTA partner. So if you feel worthy enough to join our syndicate to be trained and mentored by Andy Frisella and Ed Millette, let me know. I can hook it up. But
oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm always, dude. I'm always, dropping nuggets.
I like it.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about your background. So you were in the Army. What'd you do in the Army?
Yeah, so I was in the Army for about 12 years. Went from being in Special Operations, Army Ranger, and moved into more of like a intel roles, leading into cyber. So, I got my degree in undergrad and business management. I'm kind of not sure what to do. Having that background in intel, I went and got a master's in cybersecurity. And then about 12-year mark, Doc was like, hey, you can either get out or continue and live the profile life, and me at the time was a little stubborn. I was like, no, I can't lead people on profile, which is, kind of a misconception, but nonetheless, I ended up getting out of the military, doing some military contracting, working still in the special operations arena. So kind of been doing that as well part-time, but then I believe, I don't know, it was maybe three years ago, right around COVID, I want to say, we were talking, we've been talking for a while. You kept telling me, hey man, you need to become a realtor, right? You've got it. Let's do this. And then, that's been in the back of my mind ever since. I think 2021 is when I pulled the trigger, and, we moved to Colorado, be closer to family and everything like that. And then got my license. So now I'm in my second year of real estate. I am not full-time, but I treat it as a full-time job, if that makes sense. So my part-time job is, working for the government still, but they are very flexible in terms of scheduling. So it allows me to really work hard on real estate. So that's kind of my background and what led me to real estate right now.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've had two military people today. One I didn't even know was a military guy, EOD guy. Navy EOD.
Okay.
For 26 years. And now I have, I'm honored by an Army Ranger here, right? Yourself. And I put on my clothes every day. I'm pretty honored by myself. Humbly.
Absolutely.
Humility. I have humility, but I got pride in it. So so the transition, because you still work around military people and government people all day, every day. What's it been like kind of putting that hat on and off? Because it's completely different. I mean, let's be real. The way you operate in the military or the government is completely different than you operate on,
Yeah,
Life.
absolutely.
So what's that been? What's that been? Because there's a lot people that we're around. We're all high achievers, high producers. Whether they were a smart ranger or a strong ranger, they were high. Or if they were a mixture of both, those are pretty unique. But they were high. They were either high performance in fitness, and you could tell, or they were high performing on books, and you could tell that too, because our jobs, our brains never turned off, even when we were on off cycle. So
absolutely.
What's that been like working, civilian life?
So let me I'm going to back up before I get into that. But To explain to people that are listening or are going to listen to this later after it's gone live, Smart Ranger's in Strong Ranger, right? In the military, you've got the special operations community. There's a lot of different branches and things that have those individuals. The Ranger Regiment, they're very blunt force when it comes to doing things. So there's a lot of people that are capable. They're very, very strong physically. They don't always have the mental capacity and analytical skills to be able to do other types of jobs that would require that. And then you've got the Smart Rangers, who are kind of like the people that were in my category doing intel analysis. You had to be the Smart Ranger. So ideally you want to be both, right? But yeah, so taking that hat off from being military to civilian life, for me, it was not as challenging as people indicated, because I was prepared. I had jobs lined up. I had my education in place. I knew what I wanted to do. It was a question of, where I wanted to go and how did I want to support my family. So that was a little easier for me. But now that I'm working both, still working, I guess, both a government job and real estate, it's actually helped me connect with more and more people. So I've been able to help military families relocate from Colorado out and from out of state to into state. So it's been actually pretty awesome being able to do that.
Cool. We do have some static in the background, so we may have to redo this, Brandon, just so you know. So this may be a live take one, but
Okay.
it's live, so it can never be deleted. That's my thing on my page. So we'll just have to, recreate it. We'll just get more time together. But
Is it still staticky now?
a little bit, yeah. So what's it been like, because a secure paycheck, right? Where, for the most part, you have an SOP for everything. You have a guide, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the military or the government, and sometimes, in the special operations community, the SOPs are a little bit they're more like, hey, here's the task, go figure it out. Where in the regular army, it was like, here's the task, here's how you're going to figure it out. Don't think outside the box.
Right.
Here in the sales world, it's basically you don't get a manual. It's like you figure it out, and you have, hey, watch YouTube videos. You can ask your mentors. You can find a friend, phone a friend.
Yeah.
Like you have all these tools, but it's completely different, I feel like. And so what's that been like for you?
Yeah, I think the military, how they enforce, schedules and being able to get up early, or this is what you need to do. What do you need to kind of backwards plan in a way. So that carrying over to civilian life has been useful, because you have to be on a schedule. You have to plan that schedule. So you can't just get up and like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to check emails. You get lost in rabbit holes. You start going down things, and you forget what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to reach out to clients and make sure.
Hey, hold on, Brandon. I don't mean so. Hold that thought. Reaching out to clients, but there's a lot of static.
Let me try something. How about now?
Yep, still static. Oh, is it gone?
Is it gone? I'm gonna try to turn my camera off and turn it back on. All right.
Okay. Well, stand by, folks. We are gonna wait for the main attraction, the guest, to come back. See where he's at. Once he pops back in, we will go from there. So how's everybody doing? If you could just drop a fire or a 777 down below if you're having an amazing day, amazing year so far, and what you're most excited about going into this year. Is it, more time you're going to spend with your family, more money you're going to make, more giving you're going to do, anything like that? Love to hear from you. No wrong answer. Drop it below.
How
What's
about
up?
now?
Oh, great now.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Good. We had to do a little reset. So back on track. So taking care of your clients, right? You have to have a schedule for that, and it's hard because real estate never ends, right? So you have to give yourself time frames to actually work. So you have to treat it as a business. You really have, or a job, I would say. Like if I have a job, my day job is 9 to 5 somewhere else. You start at 9, you got to be there a little early to show up on time, right? And then you clock out or do whatever, you leave at 5, right? So you have to treat real estate as a job, right? It's a business, it's your business, it's flexible, but you have to treat it as a job. And I think that was the most challenging part, even though I had I guess I didn't know what to prioritize when I transitioned out. I'm like, oh, I can create a schedule. I can stick to the schedule. I can do what I need to do. But like, okay, there's so much to learn. There's so much to do. What's the priority? So I think that was the biggest challenge in getting out of the military and going full-time real estate.
Yeah, it's pretty. You mentioned some interesting stuff here. The having your own schedule. It's kind of funny when we start our own businesses. Sorry, but we don't actually have our own schedule, or we don't have all this flexibility to start a business. You kind of have to earn it. And you have to earn it to yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to earn it. Well, you're the owner of the business, so basically it's just you against you. It's like, do I deserve a day off? Kind of took 4 hours off a day, probably don't need a day off, right? Or yeah, I've been working 16, 17, 18 hours a day for a day job plus my business. Yeah, I should probably take a day off for family, right? And myself, I'm gonna get burned out. But what I see a lot is people take a lot of time off. They take a lot of days off. My first year or two in real estate, I took vacation, but I didn't really take days off. So what's that kind of, how are you balancing that? Because I know you got family, wife, they all know Jess. She ain't putting up with no shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that has been the biggest challenge for me because, working the, government job and then doing real estate, it never stops. Right. So because I'm kind of hard on myself at times. So I give myself a little break and like, look, you got to manage this. Life is very long, right? So it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if it takes me a little bit to get set in a schedule, but I'm taking care of my family and we're enjoying the present moment and I'm taking care of my fitness and my mindset and all that, real estate and all that will come, right? You're taking care of people, that they will come. So, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my schedule per se, as far as like, oh, I need to work till 10 o'clock and then boom, I got to go sleep and get up at 4, like, whatever. That hasn't been, I'm getting there. Like it's slowly but surely. Cause for me, like I can't just flip the switch on and then it's, this is a schedule because life happens. Right. So I'm trying to get into something that's actually manageable and then I can do on a daily. So when I transitioned from away that government job, now I'm getting up early and I'm going right into my work for the day. And I've got block out time from 9 to 11 per se, like the door's closed, my phone's off. I'm making calls through, my CRM. I'm taking care of people. And then boom, all right, gym time. Let's go. Throw the music on. It's all about, I think, managing that time, but living in the moment as well, right? Being present for people that are there for you.
I got a question. The guy brought it up earlier. Mike Tyson says there's always a plan before you enter the ring. And then once you get punched in the face, that plan is like out the door, right?
Yeah. So no, it's everybody wants to get in a fight or until they get punched in the face or something like that. Now I'm gonna have to look it up what the actual quote is, but yeah.
So I thought it was like he was talking about getting in the ring, and then there's always a plan. And then once you get punched in the face,
so here it is. I got it. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's basically what real estate is. And I'm not I'm not saying real estate or clients or anything like that is about to get punched, but it's like you have turns and twists and ups and downs and stuff like that, and it affects everybody's schedule. You know,
Yeah.
clients, it affects our schedule, affects our families. So, yeah, I just thought it was cool because the gentleman I was talking to earlier brought it up, and it's just kind of fitting. So, all right. So, what's been your favorite parts about real estate? What's been some of your struggles? What if you had to give some agents some nuggets, right? Since you're going in your second year, what would it look like? Like doing differently, or what would you continue doing? What would you do more of?
There's a lot. So first advice I would say is to, first of all, like we just said, treat it as an actual job. Because if you don't, you're gonna be slow. It's gonna take a while, and you need momentum for you to get going. And then if you don't have momentum, a lot of people quit. So that, first of all, treat it as a job. So schedule, time block, make sure that you're putting in the important things, the money producing activities up front in your day. That way that's done. As soon as you're done with those activities, then everything else is like, okay, I'm checking emails, I'm family, gym, or whatever's important in your life. You can also take care of those as well. Besides that, getting into like technical things, like if you have a CRM, you're going to make sure that you're taking care of organizing it properly. Having, in my opinion, I would have a personal email, because I just, going from EXP to LPT, I had my EXP email and I switched over to LPT. Obviously we get an LPT email, which is great, but I'm like, man, now all the business cards that I had that had my email on it, basically null and void unless they use my phone number. So keeping that email so you can transition quickly, because that email is going to go into MLSs, it's going to go to Canva, it's going to go to Zillow, it's going to go to Realtor, and you're thinking about all the things you got to go back and change later down the road. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's time consuming. It's hard. Frustrating when you change. You're like, oh my gosh, I've got so much to go back and change quickly too, right?
Yeah.
The list is long, right? But
yeah, I still think I have EXP on some stuff, just because it's just so much to change.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to talk about, so for people that don't know, I was at EXP for 4 years, started my career there. Great company. They treated me great. Even out the door was great. Like, I have zero bad things to say. I wish that I would have taken more chance of the opportunity when I first joined, because I lost about 4 years. Now 10, 20, 30 people have already talked to every agent about EXP. The revenue share model is kind of, in my opinion, it's already solidified. The top 100, top 50, you're not really going to get there, right? Those people are there unless they, pass away, and I don't want that to happen. So, so I was, what has it been like? Why did you make the switch with us? What have you seen? And where did it start? Like, where did you catch the vision bug with us? Or when did you catch the vision bug?
So it started, obviously, I heard about it a while back. I think you and a few other people brought it up, like, oh, LPT's blowing up in Florida. Okay, interesting. They got a very similar model, this, that, and the other. Kind of dismissed it. I'm like, no, EXP, like you said, has been great. They've got a great model. But I think in any MLM, multi-level marketing company, you max out, right? It doesn't matter what model it is. You're going to max out, right? So if you're not an early adopter, then it makes it a little bit more challenging to use that as a revenue share potentially, or a revenue passive income, right? But the LPT model, which is phenomenal, which I love, was they put the agent first, and they made people pay into the company regardless if you're doing revenue share or not. So that was a huge thing. The ability, like something simple like no monthly fees. I know some people are gonna, I've had people talk to me and say, oh, no monthly fees, like you get what you pay for, but that is not the case with LPT, right? If you take a look at the model in depth, they're getting their money, right? But it's it's fair and it's attributable to all the agents within the company. Like no monthly fee is huge for either whether you're an agent that's just starting off, so like man, $85 a month, man, that adds up every month. You can take that, you can throw that into advertising or social media or whatever the case may be. Then the other big thing was listing power tools. So for every listing, you get 168 pieces of marketing material. I was like, wow, they ship it to your door within 48 hours of your listing that has all your information, the text code, and everything. So it makes it easy for you to provide value to your clients without forking out money, right? You can do that. You can go buy marketing material anywhere, right? Anybody can do that. But the company's giving you that to get a head up, put that money somewhere else that you can build relationships. And I think that was a huge part. And then flying to Texas to meet Mr. Palmer and the crew was awesome, right? Walking in the door, you could feel the energy, like-minded individuals, the support system there. You know, that was one of my concerns initially was, okay, well, it's a hybrid, kind of a hybrid model. How are they on support? Because for me with EXP, it's a little frustrating. Once you're in the world, you know how to do it. It's easy. But like my system would crash. I have to go in the world. I just want to make a quick phone call, right? You can do that with it. You can make a phone call. You can get on chat. You know, it's quick, right? Things like that. The option to do Rev Builder or Business Builder versus Rev Share model. So it's, you know, it's like I keep going on and on, but like there's just so many positives to it. You can be in several states, right? You're still not paying a monthly fee in each state. All you have to take care of is your MLS in that state, and you can build a community really within LPT. So, I mean, I've got more pros, but anyway.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I love the listing power tools box because it brings agents back to the basics. It forces you, if you don't maximize this box, if you don't maximize this box right here with your flyers, your sellers, business cards, the open house stuff, the rider, it brings you back to the basics. Where I think a lot of us, you know, we got so used to just selling houses so fast because interest rates are down, no inventory, seller's market, right? A lot of people got complacent, including myself, right? Things were just flying so fast that, you know, I wasn't taking the time to do those open houses. I wasn't doing flyer drops. I wasn't making phone calls. I wasn't doing stuff because you didn't have to.
You didn't have time. You'd be under contract.
Yeah, but if you, now that I look back on it, if we took the time and slowed, because we didn't have to move as fast as the market. We were choosing to move as fast as the market. We could have got with our sellers because our sellers hired and trust us. We could have slowed the process down a little bit. We could have been like, hey, we're not going to accept offers throughout the weekend. We're going to do open houses. We're going to make sure we get that 72 to 96 hours of marketing for you, you know? So, and I think we did a little bit of it, but this, if you truly look at this box and take all the value from it, every single piece, it will slow you down. It will make you, force you to do the basics. And the basics are what pay you during a market shift, during a crash, during whatever. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one more thing about the box, I think I can say the box is like pretty cool. Every listing, it shows where all like schools, restaurants, gas stations, everything is there. Like how cool is that? Pretty dope.
That is nice. That's what
I know I'm preaching to the choir.
No, it's all good. Well, I'm gonna end it because we do have a lot of static, but Brandon, how can they get in touch with you? And where do you sell at and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, LPTOCQ, at Cost Living on YouTube, or Instagram. You can follow those handles as well. 719-413-6610. I take care of the Colorado Springs market primarily, but I live in Colorado. I do a lot of driving, a lot of mountains to the plains. So, yep.
Nice.
And all things, more than 5 military areas in our area. So if you're PCSing in or out of the area or to another state, agents, that can help you. So.
Cool. Brandon, you and I are going to listen to this after. We may have to do this again.
That's fine. We do it again.
Oh, good. We get a lot. We get live.
This is practice, right?
We'll just keep going.
Practice.
All right, Brandon. Thank you for your time. You're a stud.
Brother.
All Rangers are studs. Just so everybody knows, we're all studs. So if you had to look at a horse and everybody's like, well, I want a stud. That's us, right? We're the studs. We're like
stallions.
Well, I'm Italian stallion. I don't know if I'm Italian stallion. All right, whatever. All right. All right, Brandon.
Yeah, we go, brother.